You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the trees, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Esteemed laureates, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Abel Prize ceremony. Today we will honor and celebrate the Abel Prize laureates of 2020 and 2021 for their extraordinary scientific work in the field of mathematics. Hillel Furstenberg, Gregory Margulis, László Lovász, and Avi Wigderson. At Norwegian ambassadorial residences in Washington, in Tel Aviv, and in Budapest, the laureates are ready to accept their awards. And we will also celebrate them from here, the University Ceremonial Hall in Oslo. This is really the home of the Abel Prize ceremony, lit up by this unique painting by Edvard Munch, anchoring the University Hall's theme of enlightenment, a blazing sun. The Abel Prize is awarded by the Norwegian Academy of Science and Letters on behalf of the Norwegian government and based on a recommendation from the Abel Committee. This committee consists of prominent researchers in the field of mathematics. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chair of the Abel Committee, Hans Munthe-Kaas.
Thank you.
Hans, the committee reviews the nominations and then submits a recommendation to the Academy. Yes. So please tell us a bit about the process from nominations to recommendation.
Yeah, I think leading such a committee is the most interesting work you can do as a mathematician. The committee consists of 4 renowned international mathematicians and a Norwegian chairman. And ever since the beginning of the Abel Prize, we have cooperated very closely with the International Mathematical Union and the European Mathematical Society, who nominates the candidates for the prize committee. So this committee meets 3 times in the fall. The first meeting in August, September, where we discuss the nominations, and we discuss the focus of attention for this year. So it should be remarked that the Abel Prize, in the statutes, is said explicitly that this is a prize that should cover all or broadly within the mathematics and applied mathematics. So we have a quite deep discussion on where we should put the focus, how we should focus on a short list of candidates and so on in the first meeting. And then there is a process of soliciting referee reports from international experts. So during the fall, we get letters describing the mathematics of many mathematicians. That's very interesting reading. We have kind of seminars on the topics of the mathematicians. So it's very interesting work. And then we meet again in January in one of the cities of the committee members, where we have an international symposium open for everybody. And we go to the final decision of choosing the winners. And that is difficult work. We always have more good candidates than we have laureates, so we have to make a final decision. And as one of my committee members said, the most difficult decisions is not to choose between the good and the bad, it's to choose between the good and the good.
Thank you, Hans. And now it's time to explain the conclusion of the committee.
Dear Abel laureates, friends of science, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great joy we today celebrate the 2020 Abel Prize to Hillel Furstenberg, Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and Gregory Margulis, Yale University, New Haven, for pioneering the use of methods from probability and dynamics in group theory, number theory, and combinatorics. The life stories of Furstenberg and Margulis reflect the dramatic history of Europe in the 20th century. Hillel Furstenberg was born in a Jewish family in Berlin in 1935, with the Kristallnacht in 1938 as an early memory. The family dramatically fled to New York shortly after. He moved to Israel in 1965 and established a world-leading research group at the Einstein Institute in Jerusalem. Gregory Margulis was born in Moscow in 1946 and showed early mathematical talent in the Mathematics Olympiad and during studies with Yakov Sinai in Moscow. In a divided Europe, Margulis was isolated from his colleagues in the West until he was allowed to travel in 1979. He moved to Yale University in 1991. A central branch of probability theory is the study of random walks, such as the route taken by a tourist exploring an unknown city by flipping a coin to decide between turning left and right at every cross. Hillel Furstenberg and Gregory Margulis invented similar random walk techniques to investigate the structure of Lie groups. Group theory is the mathematics of symmetries, a pillar of modern mathematics with fundamental importance in geometry, number theory, algebra, physics, and chemistry, originating in the early 19th century works of Gauss, Abel, and Galois. Lie groups, introduced by Sophus Lie in the second half of the 19th century, describe continuous symmetries such as the rotations of a ball or symmetries of differential equations. This is an indispensable tool in many applications, ranging from theoretical physics to deep problems in number theory. Starting from the study of random products of matrices, Hillel Furstenberg introduced and classified a notion of fundamental importance, now called Furstenberg boundary. Using this, he gave a Poisson-type formula expressing harmonic functions on a general group in terms of their boundary values. This is an immensely important tool in the study of random walks in groups, which found applications in the revolutionary results of Gregory Margulis. Hillel Furstenberg developed applications of probability theory and ergodic theory to many areas of mathematics. A stunning example is his proof and generalizations of Semeredi's theorem on the existence of arithmetic progressions in subsets of integer lattices. Other applications range from Diophantine approximations to signal processing, filter theory, and fractal geometry. Gregory Margulis established himself early as a master of ergodic theory, geometry, and Lie theory. He made profound contributions to a number of areas ranging from expander graphs in communication networks, the study of ergodic flows on hyperbolic spaces, proving the long-standing Oppenheim conjecture in number theory, and perhaps most strikingly, his result on the structure of lattices in semi-simple Lie groups. So this is a lattice in the rotation group. Atle Selberg had conjectured that such lattices were essentially all of arithmetic nature. Margulis' proof of this arithmeticity conjecture and his superrigidity theorem stunned the mathematical world. His ingenious use of random walk techniques to attack these structural problems of group theory came as a major surprise. The influence of Furstenberg and Margulis extends way beyond their results and original fields. They are recognized as pioneers by a wide community of mathematicians, from Lie theory, discrete groups, and random matrices, to computer science and graph theory. They have demonstrated the ubiquity of probabilistic methods and the effectiveness of transgressing boundaries between separate mathematical disciplines, such as the traditional dichotomy between pure and applied mathematics.
We are at the Norwegian ambassador's residence in Tel Aviv, where Hillel Furstenberg is presented with the Abel Prize 2020 by His Excellency Kåre Aas, the Norwegian ambassador.
Having such a prestigious prize, it's very gratifying for me personally, and especially getting a prize for something that one enjoys doing, and mathematics is something that if you do it to this stage, you must be enjoying it, and perhaps one of the things that this prize means to me is really it's a recognition of mathematics. The fact that there was no Nobel Prize in mathematics because apparently someone thought that doing mathematics was not really benefiting mankind the way maybe making dynamite was or whatever. But in fact, just doing the fact of mathematics, the fact that people are doing mathematics, for one thing, it shows that there is such a thing as absolute truth. There is truth which you really know. It's not my truth, your truth, whatever. This is really true and incontrovertible, that there is such a thing in the world. And you can compare other things, and you can say, well, do you consider this a mathematical proof? I mean, the fact that this is there, mathematics is there, is very important. But moreover, that it's a combination of truth and beauty. The beauty of mathematics is there, and doesn't contradict the truth. The two of them can come together. I'm not sure there are other areas in which truth and beauty come together the same way as in mathematics. And so, thank you very much for this prize, and I'm almost embarrassed to say how much I enjoy getting it.
At the Norwegian ambassador's residence in Washington, Gregory Margulis is presented with the Abel Prize 2020. Presenting the award is Deputy Chief of Mission Torleif Oppland.
I am very grateful to the Abel Committee and to the Norwegian Academy of Sciences and Letters who awarded me the Abel Prize. It's a great honor. In late 1950s, a great Norwegian mathematician, Atle Selberg, began a program of study of the structure of some special class of discrete subgroups called lattices. A few years later, Selberg and Petetsky-Shapira stated a conjecture about arithmeticity of lattices in higher rank semi-simple groups. I proved this conjecture using various approaches. It took about 6 or 7 years from approximately 1967 to 1974. So in the subject of discrete subgroups of Lie groups, I also should like to emphasize my proof of the normal subgroup theorem. So in theoretical computer science, I'm best known for giving explicit examples, example constructions of expanders. I also made some contributions to other topics in fields in mathematics, so it's mostly in collaboration with other mathematicians. So among these contributions, I want to mention distribution of the values of quadratic forms in integral points. It starts from my proof of the Oppenheim conjecture and then continues until, the proof was in mid-1980s, and now it more or less continues very recently. Then Diophantine approximations on manifolds, which includes proof of Bacon-Sprinzuk conjectures, and dynamics, including homogeneous dynamics and theory of Fanoso flows, then rigidity of group actions on manifolds, and then probability, including random graphs and random walks on homogeneous spaces, and then discrete group of affine transformations. So this is some kind of list which I consider to be quite important. Yeah, I had quite a long mathematical career. So my first paper appears in 1966, and I am still active in mathematical research. I always try to work on difficult problems, sometimes unsuccessfully and sometimes successfully. Success was achieved in some cases by more or less straightforward approach, and in other cases by discovering new connections between various fields in mathematics. And now let me finish actually with some funny note. When there was a call from Norwegian Academy of Sciences, my wife took the phone and she said the word prize, and she decided it was a scam. She hung the phone. Then second time, instead of Abel Prize, she said she had Nobel Prize, and she said that there was no Nobel Prize in mathematics. And third time it worked.
we heard Joakim Røbergshagen playing Praeludium and Allegro by Fritz Kreisler. And Joakim Røbergshagen made his debut at the age of 10. And since then, he has received numerous awards for being an extraordinary young musician. Hans Munthe-Kaas, chair of the Abel Committee, it has been 70 years since Hillel Furstenberg published his first paper in mathematics. And I'm wondering, in your experience, what drives a mathematician on that level, and what keeps motivating them to pursue new knowledge?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that you bring forward the early work of Furstenberg. Actually, he wrote 3 beautiful papers in 3 diverse areas of mathematics before he was 20 years old. That's something. There is something about mathematics which is particular for mathematics and different from sciences as physics and so on, and that is, in mathematics we establish truths. When a theorem is proven, it is established as a truth and it will be standing forever afterwards. In physics, people come up with theories, but theories are never completely true. They are falsified after a while, so that's something quite different. As an example, take the Greek mathematician Euclid, who lived 300 years before Christ. He established important theorems and algorithms, in computational algorithms in geometry and algebra that are as important today as they were 300 years before Christ. So one particular truth that Euclid established was a proof that there are infinitely many prime numbers. And this was a topic of one of Furstenberg's early papers. He found, more than 2,000 years after Euclid, a new proof of the existence of infinitely many prime numbers. And he introduced new ideas that later became rather important in his later work. So I'm sure that this gave him an intense creative joy. So creative joy is important driving force. We establish truths. We look at beauty. This might be a surprise, but truth and beauty are two driving principles of mathematics. And one famous mathematician said, actually, if I ever had to choose between the true and the beautiful, I always went for the beautiful. So I think that the beauty in mathematics is a similar thing to beauty in arts and music. It's a very similar feeling we have when we discover something that is truly beautiful. And the surprising thing is that results that are motivated by pursuing beauty and truth, they turn out to have always important applications in physics or in algorithms and in various areas. And this is a bit of a mystery. Eugene Wigner called it the unreasonable efficiency of mathematics in the natural sciences. It is a mystery why mathematics is so successful in describing nature. So we have to accept it, and it has been very successful. The society is based on it. And the search for the true and the beautiful leads to important applications that advances the society and technology. And I think applications in medicine and other areas is also something that is very inspiring for any mathematician.
Thank you, Hans. And now it's time to explain the conclusion of the committee.
Dear Abel laureates, friends of science, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to present the 2021 Abel Prize to László Lovász of the Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest and Avi Wigderson of the Institute of Advanced Study in Princeton for their fundamental contributions to theoretical computer science and discrete mathematics, and their leading role in shaping them into central fields of modern mathematics. Theoretical computer science is the study of the power and limitations of computing. Its roots go back to the foundational works of Kurt Gödel, Alonzo Church, Alan Turing, and John von Neumann from before World War II. Interestingly, They developed the foundations of computer science prior to the existence of any physical computers. Theoretical computer science contains two complementary subdisciplines: algorithm design, which develops efficient methods for a multitude of computational problems, and computational complexity, which shows inherent limitations on the efficiency of algorithms. Theoretical computer science provides the foundations of cryptography and is now having growing influence on mathematics and many sciences, leading to new insights by bringing focus on algorithms and computation. Discrete structures such as graphs, strings, and permutations are central, and therefore discrete mathematics and theoretical computer science are closely allied fields. While both these fields have benefited immensely from the more traditional areas of mathematics, there has been growing influence in the reverse direction as well. Applications, concepts, and techniques from theoretical computer science have motivated new challenges, opened new directions of research, and solved important open problems in pure and applied mathematics. Lovász and Wigderson have been leading forces in these developments over the last decades. László Lovász, born in 1948, grew up in the Hungarian tradition of discrete mathematics and combinatorics, pioneered by Paul Erdős. As a teenager, he won gold medal in 3 consecutive mathematics Olympiads. He made a multitude of profound contributions to discrete mathematics and graph theory, and under his influence, the field has developed into a pillar of modern mathematics. We mention the Lenstra-Lovász lattice basis reduction algorithm, his proof of the Kneser conjecture, the Lovász local lemma, foundational work on probabilistically checkable proofs, the Shannon capacity in information theory, and his recent leading role in developing the theory of graph limits. Avi Wigderson, born in Haifa in 1956, began his career in the field of computational complexity. He moved to Princeton in 1980, where he has built up a world-leading research group in theoretical computer science. He has made broad and profound contributions to all aspects of computational complexity, especially the role of randomness in computation. His celebrated P equals BPP theorem raises the question of whether true randomness is ever really essential, and he has made foundational contributions to the theory of pseudo-random generators. Furthermore, we cite groundbreaking results on Ramsey graphs and expander graphs, the zigzag graph product, formal proof systems, and his works on zero-knowledge proofs with applications in cryptography and cryptocurrencies. Thanks to the leadership of Lovász and Wigderson, discrete mathematics and the relatively young field of theoretical computer science are now established as central areas of modern mathematics.
At the Norwegian ambassador's residence in Budapest, László Lovász is presented with the Abel Prize 2021 by Her Excellency Trine Skymoen, the Norwegian ambassador.
Your Excellency, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, let me start with my sincere thanks for this great honor. This great event inspires one to look back on one's research of more than 50 years. Graph theory has been in the center of my research, even if I strolled quite far away sometimes. We mathematics students in Budapest practically did not have access to computers. Every student had to write one program in 5 years on paper to be punched into a tape and then run by the professionals. I was super ambitious. I wrote a Go program. When they tried to run it, it crashed the one computer of the university. So my wife and classmates, whose name is after mine in the alphabet, was saved from having to write a program. But computers or no computers, several of us young mathematicians realized that the theory of computing is a deep and exciting new field of mathematics, and it is very intimately related to graph theory and discrete mathematics. In the last couple of decades, graph theory, as the mathematical basis of network science, experienced another jump in importance. We now realize that most of the structures and systems we want to understand have an underlying network or graph. From computers to the internet, from ecological communities to the brain, from social networks to epidemics, graph theory is becoming the mathematical background for this new paradigm. It has been a great privilege to live through this period and to have been able to make a modest contribution. Of course, I could not have had any results without many others, and I owe deep gratitude to them. First of all, to my wife, Kati Westergombi, who was not only carrying much of the family load, allowing me to spend more time on research, but helped me professionally, from joint research to reading my books and much more. Also to my children, not only for allowing me to do math in times when they would have deserved more personal attention, but also because it gives you strength if you can be proud of your children. Last but not least, to the mathematics community, for the strong support I have received during my whole career. This means my teachers, in the first line, Tibor Galai and Vera Sós. This means my classmates in high school and at the university, my colleagues in Budapest, Szeged, Princeton, New Haven, and Redmond, my students, and also the fantastic research group I am currently working with. May I dedicate this short speech to them.
We are back at the Norwegian ambassador's residence in Washington. Avi Wigderson is presented with the Abel Prize 2021. Presenting the award is Deputy Chief of Mission Torleif Uppland.
I'm really honored to receive the Abel Prize. I thank the Norwegian Academy for Science and Letters and, of course, for the Abel Prize Committee for selecting me. I'm, of course, extremely happy to share it with my colleague and friend, László Lovász, who, when I was starting graduate school, was already a legend. This field for me is, both an academic community and a social home for the past 40 years, since I started graduate school. It's an extremely energetic and dynamic field. It's full of excitement and surprises and even paradoxical results. People often ask me whether I'm a mathematician or a computer scientist, and I'm really happy to say that I'm both. And I think the field benefits from being, having these two parents. The computer science side offers plenty of exciting questions and problems, trying to modeling computation in nature, in technology, and in society, providing a great source of problems to think about. On the other hand, the mathematical side, the ethos of mathematics, of studying abstraction and beauty, but studying it rigorously and proving theorems about it, supplies the other side. So altogether, I think the field has created just a magnificent edifice of knowledge that is both beautiful and useful to science and to society. So I feel like I'm playing, every day in a gold mine where there are so many, beautiful things to find and wonderful people to collaborate with. Let me conclude by just, just thanking my family. They complement my professional life with a wonderful personal life. So I feel just extremely lucky. And I want to single out my late father for infecting me with the love of mathematics and just exposing me to the beauty of it from a very young age. Yeah, it was wonderful to start this way. Thank you very much.
We heard Emma Martine Lam Olsen from the Barrat Due Institute of Music in Oslo. She's only 14 years old, but she's already been awarded several national and international prizes as a young musical talent. And later we'll hear more from the young talents at the Barrat Due Institute of Music. Today we are celebrating the Abel Prize laureates of 2020 and 2021. And to conclude the ceremony, please welcome President of the Norwegian Academy of Science and Letters, Hans Petter Graver.
Dear Abel Prize laureates, Hillel Furstenberg, Gregory Margulis, László Lovász, and Avi Wigderson, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends of science. The Abel Prize is a recognition of scientific contribution of exceptional depth and significance for the discipline of mathematics. These words from the Abel Prize statutes fit the works of our laureates well. You are truly deserving of the prize. You have my heartfelt congratulations. Mathematics is the mother of all sciences. Research of the kind our laureates have undertaken is driven by curiosity and an intellectual pursuit of new understandings. For the mathematicians, a societal impact of their research is often a side effect of their work. The scientific response to the pandemic can serve as an example. Within a year, highly effective vaccines have been developed. But these new vaccines have a long history and build on a century of curiosity-driven basic science, where, of course, mathematicians and statisticians have served an important role. In a world where research promising immediate results often seem to get priority, we must always remember the importance of basic research for long-term societal impact. Sometimes breakthroughs in mathematics do not see applications before after decades. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who contributed to the Abel Prize continued success. The International Mathematical Union, the European Mathematical Society, the Heidelberg Laureate Forum, the Abel Board, the Abel Committee, and the national and international mathematics community. I thank you all. Laureates, this is a great day, not only for you, but also for the field of mathematics and for society at large. Congratulations with the prize.